good, doesn't it?
I don't feel a thing.
Oh, nice explosion to lead into these three beautiful faces here, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
See, you're back for another episode of Replay or Reboot, ladies and gentlemen. And this time, you guys have voted again, and we decided that the Hitcher was a fantastic choice that you guys chose. So we did the 1986, the original The Hitcher, versus the 2007 remake, The Hitcher, as well. I had a good time with both of these. The original Hitcher was a first-time watch for me. I know it's an old movie, so I should have seen it, but I didn't. I had a good time with both of them, and we already know who I am. And look at these two other beautiful people we have here, as usual. And I'll let Brad say who they are because I love when he says it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Good Real Hunting. We hunt for the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad down here, and the Brett man is right up here.
Yeah, how's it feel like being at the bottom and me on top? Huh?
Whoa.
I just wanted to have a nice little.
I'm gonna rotate him. I'm gonna switch him around right now.
No!
Yeah, we gotta get rotated.
He got to go back down to the bottom. Here we go.
Okay,
Bye, Brett.
I'm used to it.
Bye, Brett.
Oh!
Bye, Brett. Ah! How does that feel?
I'm used to it.
I know you.
My sick flannel here just for the Matt's presence here today.
Oh, he got the flannel on Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh,
It fits this movie perfectly with the hot heat of the desert, and I just feel like a Walker Texas Ranger would be right there doing.
He needed to be. He needed to be in both of these situations. He needed to be out there
because these cops were not very good. We're going to talk about all that. Hey, and Brett, why don't you let the folks know what categories we are going to be talking about today?
All right, the categories for today, we're going to be talking about the story. We're going to be talking about one Mr. Ryder himself. We're going to be talking about the protagonists. We're going to be talking about the officers. And, of course, as always, our overall enjoyment of both movies.
Fantastic. Awesome. And for those of you who don't know, the first two episodes we've done, they've went to the remake. So the OG is 0 for 2, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a possibility it could go 0 for 3. And I don't know. We gotta wait and see.
No.
It's crazy to think. I didn't think this was going to happen this week. I really didn't. But I don't know. I don't get the hate for the remake as far as the ratings or anything. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty solid. Of course, the original was great too. This is actually there's still things here that I haven't decided on, and we're just gonna have to hammer it out.
2 words though, Michael Bay. I think that's why.
You went the other way. We talked about this before we started. I had 2 words too, but it was Sophia Bush.
He also produced the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and everybody loves that one. So I mean, I don't think that's going to hold it back on its own. I mean, we'll have to get into it.
We'll have to get into
it.
Man. So what category you want to go with first?
I say let's go with story first, and just set them in the mood and get them involved in the atmosphere, and just let them know what the actual story is about.
All right, I think we're gonna let the guy who's dressed like somebody who should be in this movie go first. We're gonna let Brad go first.
This one's actually a tough category for me. I really liked some of the stuff they did differently with the remake. Obviously the first one, Jim's pretty much on his own until he meets Nash at the diner. This one, it starts off with a couple together. So I like that a lot because it gives you a little bit more dialogue and it gets you a little bit more into what's going on. And just having that back and forth, I think really helps speed up the beginning of the movie a little bit, getting to know 2 characters as opposed to 1. And I like, obviously, towards the end, of course, we're going to be spoiling this all day, so just be warned. But yeah, towards the end, obviously, the ending of the remake changes from, you know, the gal being chained up to the trucks to the dude being chained up to the trucks. And I thought that was interesting to have the gal be the survivor. Sophia Bush did a fantastic job in this thing too. So I quite like that ending. But I don't know. I feel like the second act really kind of just skips over a lot of stuff in the remake that the first movie did very well, with the whole side plot with the police investigation and everything going on. I thought that was better done in the original one, and it gives you a little bit more of the sense of oh shit, this guy's fucked situation, as opposed in the second one. It's really just kind of, you know, John Ryder that they have to look out for, and so for that reason, I think I'll have to give it to the first one, the original, in this category.
One vote for the OG.
Alrighty.
Brett, what about you?
Me, see, it's difficult because it's like with originals and remakes, like they tell the same story, but they tell it in different ways. And I felt like the remake did a really good job telling it in a different manner than the original, which going with the, as Brad said, going with the couple immediately, they kind of like, you know, set up that dynamic of getting invested in those two. But the remake, I love just starting out with just Jim, just to know about him, what he's actually doing on the road and all that, and picking up John Ryder, just having that one-on-one interaction. I just absolutely like the first 10 minutes to me are the strongest in the whole original, in my opinion. Just because it set the tone and atmosphere. While in the remake, it kind of like set the tone and atmosphere, kind of like maybe towards the end of the first act, early second act. To me, it's a little too long to automatically get the tone set. But both did a really good job with the ending, because again, it's the exact same, but just the style of how you do it. And I thought both styles really worked for this particular story. But just to me, a simple, like just telling it simply is a lot better than just like overdoing it. Kind of like I felt like the remake did. So I'm going to go with the original for the overall story.
There's two. Are we going to go for the sweep?
Ooh, we're going to find out.
You should know me by now.
I doubt it.
No. I know the OG is people love it. I was kind of bored by it. I'm not going to lie. I thought the story had too much going on compared to the remake that focused on the one set thing. I was bouncing over to these cops. Up, they're over here doing this. They're at a gas station. Up, they're over this place. I was like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm having a hard time keeping up with this stuff. I mean, obviously the plot's not super crazy, but there's still way more going on in the OG than there was in the remake. And like you guys said, I like starting it off with the couple from the beginning, not just starting it off with Jim, and then he meets this chick, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna go do this together. I'm with you. No, that's not how life works. Not that I've ever noticed. I like the beginning, the love connection that Sophia Bush's character and Jim have in the beginning, and it goes the whole way through. I just thought their dynamic is what set the remake apart for me personally. And I mean the stories are, I think in the original Jim was taking a car across country and delivering it or whatnot.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, to San Diego, I believe.
Oh, a whale's vagina. Yes.
I don't think that's right.
No. I think that is.
Well, agree to disagree.
I just read what's on the teleprompter. That's all that I do. So leave me alone. In the second one, they were. I'm assuming they were going home.
Vacation
or wherever. It's been a while. I haven't watched it in a couple weeks, so I kind of forgot. And I'm not one for notes, so I don't got nothing written down. So I'm just going off the top of my head. But I think that both of the aspects of why they were going where they were going made sense. It wasn't like it was just thrown in there. It made sense. But they were just so very similar in every aspect of the film for the most part. besides the fact of the couple dynamic that the original didn't have until 2/3 of the way through the movie. I think if it had that the whole way through, like the remake did, for me, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. So for those reasons, I had to vote for the remake on that one.
Alrighty.
And freaking not until Nash whipped up some fantastic diner food there for our boy Jim.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
And he freaking just dillies with it. I don't even think he touched his burger. I'm like, dude, that is a delicious looking burger.
I would have devoured it. Yeah.
Oh, I would too, especially for the fries alone, because those fries look like they were cooked perfectly.
Made me hungry. It really made me hungry. At that point, I was like, okay, I can't deal with this guy anymore because he's not eating his damn food. But
he had a lot on his plate.
More
ways than one.
Okay, yeah. I'm out.
Oh, dang,
my puns are spreading across the YouTube first.
No, that was a pun. That was not good. I don't do that. Oh.
Well, welcome to the club, buddy. You just did.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to the party, pal.
You're wearing off on me. So, after one category, the OG is up. They win that category 2-1. So they are now up 1-0 in this battle.
Oh, yeah. So do you want to go on? Are we going to save one Mr. Ryder towards the end, or we want to go ahead and talk about him right now?
Let's go ahead and get those side characters out of the way.
Yeah.
That way we can save the best for later.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because John is just such an amazing character, so I agree with that. Let's go with the officers.
Yeah, I think obviously the main one that we're looking at is Captain Estridge, and there's a couple other little dudes there, like Danny Bolero's Officer Edwards in the remake, and Harlan Bremer Sr. They, overall, like most of them are forgettable, but Captain Estridge is one that I think has a pretty good difference between this one and the remake and the original one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and which one are you going with between the two?
Oh, you want me to go first again?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool.
Well, we can just do like a circle.
Cool. I liked. See, they were pretty solid. Like, I like the way you just spend more time with these characters in the original movie. So, obviously they get brought in for the interview process, or Jim does, I guess. It's just Jim at this point. He's kind of alone in the world. And I like that. It makes it a little bit more like, oh, this guy's in some deep shit here at this point, kind of feeling to it. Of course, we later figure out that they don't actually suspect that he's the dude, but it's a nice ride going through that. And then he starts talking to Captain Estridge on the radio initially, and he shows up at kind of towards the end. But I think that even just having him on the radio in the original one, I think he's a better character than the guy in the weird, like in the remake, Neil McDonough. He seemed a little weird to me, like just a little bit kind of freaky. I don't know. Like I just at first I was like, okay, this guy's going to be cool, but then like he just kind of turned it. He starts losing his shit and throwing shit all over the place, and he's like, yeah, he shows up. He's like, hey, you idiots! Of course these guys aren't involved. Look at him. But then he just kind of went on a 180 and got a little weird. So I like the original Captain Estridge probably the most here.
Okay, so 1 for the original, and let's go ahead and make it 2 for the original, because I'm going to go with the original as well. For the main point that Brad made, that you just get to know the officers more in the original than you do in the remake. I feel like in the remake that they're just there just for one purpose. It's just to get killed off, which they get killed off in the original too. But just to me, their death scenes are a lot more graphic or a lot more disturbing to me than in the remake. And it's just the Estridge character. I really like. See, I really wanted to give this to the remake just because of. Who was the Estridge skin in the remake?
That was your boy, dude. That was Neil McDonough.
Yeah, and I was so pumped when I saw him in the remake. I'm like, oh, he's actually going to be a really good character. They didn't do anything with him. They just, and kind of like you said too, but like a complete 180 of styles. To me, I like him better as a villain than an actual good guy. So just his role did not work in the remake, and I like the officers just a lot more better in the original. So I'm going with the original.
Oh my gosh, up to me again. Is it going to be a sweep or no?
Ooh.
Uh
Can I have a push and say both cops suck? But no, we won't do that.
oh. Well, Mr. Mark can give you a push.
No.
Oh. And Edna style.
I didn't. The cops were pretty much useless in both films, obviously. They are very bad at their jobs. They're not very good at holding people, that's for sure, because they every time get away. So if you want to break any rules, you go to where they were, and you'll be the best criminal ever, because they ain't gonna stop you. But I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't have any attachment to the OG cops at all. I know Estridge wasn't in the remake that much, but you said he was creepy, Brad, and I like that creepy. I thought it was. He did look like he kind of didn't fit there. Like
Yeah.
he was a randomly placed police officer or ranger.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I like the way he talked. It was. You feeling comfortable down there, John? Here. Then he fixes his handcuffs and makes them a little tighter down there, and he's starting to like.
Ooh.
And they freaking grind into his hands. I love that. And
You know what?
said, he wasn't in it enough. I needed more, but I did enjoy the time he was on screen. So really isn't too much to talk about in this category. So me being me, I'm gonna go with the remake on that one.
I think you've actually convinced me for the old switcheroo, the old bounce over to the remake over here, because I kind of forgot about some of those. Yeah, I forgot about some of those sequences there. The thing, yeah, I like that. And the ending was pretty good too, when he's giving Sophia a ride. And I don't know why they were falling those guys, but they were nonetheless. And it was kind of cool at the end. He gets stuck in the car and he's like, he's just he kind of comes back. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to go ahead and jump over on the, he was a creepy looking dude, man, but I did like that dynamic and how he had some interactions with Mr. Ryder.
He said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I'm shocked because again, I did like that scene in the remake with Estridge and Ryder in that kind of like interrogation room. But again, I just felt like they totally missed the mark on Estridge in the remake versus the original. That's why I'm rewarding the original.
So with Brad switching, that means the remake won that category too.
That's a whole 180,
tied.
man. Yeah. I just, that you made a good point, and I love that. Yeah. I was just thinking about some of the other earlier scenes and stuff, but yeah, I think that was awesome.
The bad thing is, like, he was only introduced maybe over halfway through the movie, correct? Like,
yeah, and that's
see him on screen.
That's kind of how the original one was too. Like, you only hear him on the radio for a little bit, and he kind of shows up at the very end, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of the same, but I think he was a little bit more involved with Ryder one-on-one in this one, obviously, and I do like that quite a bit, actually.
So that's just
and let me ask this: so you're talking about them being a bad police force. What about freaking Halloween and Halloween 4?
They don't have a police force.
Exactly, they don't have a police force. At least in the Hitcher, they at least have a police force.
They had one, and then they were getting beat up by fucking everybody. Jim was wrecking them, and John Ryder was wrecking them, and he took down a freaking helicopter. For crying out loud!
Yeah,
I mean, that's a terrible police force.
What about when John Ryder shows up? We may talk about this in his category. Never mind. We'll hold off.
Yeah, because that is literally the next category. So, Brad, might as well go ahead and get to your point, my friend. We're going to go with the protagonist. What did you think about the protagonists in both movies?
The protagonist?
C.
Okay. I liked him. I liked Jim a lot in the original one. I thought he does a good job of I mean, of course, it was a low budget. I mean, it had a decent budget actually, but I think it was an HBO film. So for that being said, he did a pretty good job at that point to kind of carry the runtime of the movie and keep you engaged with his character and stuff. And it was kind of cool. Like, I know I said earlier, I like the couple dynamic in the remake, but I like just kind of having him alone at the same time, because he does such a good job. And he kind of, once he meets Nash, I thought their dynamic together was pretty good. Again, like you said, Matt, it's a little bit like, okay, she's going to make a burger. And now all of a sudden she's going to run, cross country and jump into this whole shit show, which I wouldn't want to jump into the shit show with anybody, much less one of my customers at the diner that was eating fingers just a second ago. Like I don't really want to get involved. Not that kind of finger, my friend. I just wouldn't want to get involved with that. I mean, that to me seems like a complicated situation, a complicated thing that I wouldn't want to get associated with. And I mean, obviously this guy's been accused of chopping some people up, and obviously that's another situation I don't really want to get in. I think I would just stay at the diner and make some more chicken fingers and just maybe clock out at the end of the day and go home. But that's not what she did. They ran off together. I did enjoy their characters together. I thought Nash was really solid. Man, this is a tough category because I really like Sophia Bush in the remake as well. Mm-hmm. Jim, I wasn't as wild about him. If they would have thrown Jared Padalecki in the air, I think that would have really sealed the deal for me on the remake.
That's fucking strong.
Damn.
Yeah, it would have been cool. He was okay. But I think I'm going to have to go with the original in this one. Yeah, because I think we get some nice moments with Jim. It's really Jim versus Sophia Bush at this point.
Yeah.
And I like them both a lot, but Jim for me he has some more time to kind of get fleshed out a little bit more, in my opinion, in that first act. And you get to see him under stress a lot, and you really start to kind of care for this dude as time goes on, whereas the other one's it bounces around a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. My first thoughts on the remake is Jim's a bitch. Like literally, I did not like Jim at all in the remake, just because to me, like he was supposed to be like a strong character, but I just never really got it to me. He just whined and complained most of the time too, or like just trying to be like the very, very nice guy. Like, oh, we got to pick up this Hitcher and all that. With freaking Grace, she actually had freaking common sense going like, no, this ain't a pretty good idea. And you figure with two heads are better than one head with Jim in the original with the first act. So I can understand Jim picking up the Hitcher in the original versus Grace and Jim picking up the Hitcher in the remake. So that was my first problem with that. But Brad pretty much hit the nail. This really comes down to Jim in the original versus Grace in the remake. Sophia Bush did an excellent job, and she had a great character arc going from a small, like kind of like wouldn't say a weak girl, but just semi-weak. Probably it's the best way I can describe it. And then she became like a total badass towards the end, getting her ultimate revenge in the shotgun shot, which was fantastic. But I am going to give it the original just because of Jim alone in that movie. Just his character arc to me is just so much better, and just he sells like his fear, and there's one of the strongest things in the original is Jim was almost had a gun right here, and he was just about to end it, but for some reason, I was like, that was just so strong, and you actually feel for him and don't actually blame him just because Ryder is just messing with him. He's always one step ahead, and then Nash was good too as a side character, kind of like as a partner character, better than Jim in the remake. But in Nash when she got chained up and then she got split in half. To me, that was a lot more effective to me than Jim, because I wasn't in the remake, because I wasn't invested in Tim, because again I thought he was a bitch. But so the original for the protagonist.
Hey, he got stretched out there at the end. No more spinal decompression for our boy at the end of the day. I liked, real quick, I just wanted to point out that was a great point, Bert, about the desert, the gun thing that you were talking about. Because even when we're watching at that point, I was watching that with my wife, and she was like, he should just go ahead and end things now, because he was in such, And then like 2 seconds later, he thought about it. And it was a good point, because at that point, like, you're legitimately thinking like, this guy is so freaking screwed. He has no way out of this situation, So it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, going for a sweep again. This time I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with the OG.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
As much as I love Sophia Bush, her acting and her beautiful screen presence and her beautiful raspy voice that I like,
Yes, dude.
she doesn't she doesn't really kick it into gear until the end of the film. And by that time, it's too late. And then, like you said, Jim, they probably could have just eliminated him from this movie altogether, like technically, and just had it be Grace's movie and totally do a 180.
I actually
would've
would
been cool.
prefer that.
Because he didn't do anything, like you said, Brett. He didn't do literally anything. He whined a lot, and I thought I liked him. I did, but then C. Thomas Howell's performance was a little bit better. Like you said, Nash. I mean, she was the Jim. She was the Jim from the remake of the OG. She didn't really add anything that special to the film. So, and she was taken out anyway after just finally getting in the movie at halfway point, and then she's gone about another quarter of the way through anyway. So we didn't get that much time to actually get to know her or really care about her character. So I'd compare, like you said, her to Jim from the remake. They're pretty much just we don't really need either one of them. So based, like you said, Jim from the original versus Grace from the remake, you're with Jim the entire time in the OG. So you get to know him and see the shit he's going through the whole entire time. So for that reason, I'd have to go with Jim from the OG.
The old sweeperoo. Call us the cleaning crew, ladies and gentlemen, because we just swept up. Oh, hey, that was another good point, Matt. That's one thing that kind of held back the remake. Sophia Bush, as good as she was, she, like you said just a second ago, she really didn't kick it into gear until the third act. Like up until that point, it was almost Jim that was kind of the main protagonist, and then like she wasn't really doing much. And then at the end, obviously, she is the one at the last woman standing, so to speak, at the end. So yeah, that's a good point too.
So that means that the OG is now up 2-1 after 3 categories.
This is getting scary, and we're about to get into
the guy at the gas station was that dude from Friday the 13th, the remake from 2009.
Yeah,
he's about to open up a can on the whoop ass machine, boy.
That weird dude. Yeah.
Oh, he plays that role so well.
Even though, of all honesty, I felt like we all were that cash register dude. Looking at Sophia Bush.
True.
Just to be fair,
not as creepy, but
no, not as creepy, but just semi creepy.
This guy wasn't. He had no interest in Sophia Bush. He's got that mannequin back at the barn. Like he's good to go. Like that's his style.
Oh
that's
man,
his.
Remember when you took my virginity? Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Hey, you can say that she had a doll face.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, he's got that. Yeah, she sure did.
He's caressing her body. You're so tight. Like, oh, you got some problems, bro.
Before this gets out of control, yeah. Rough dialogue right there.
Yeah. After he smoked some weed, so he's probably high. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that takes care of 3 categories. Now we're on to the main man of the movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this one's tough, guys. This one's really tough.
Woo!
I don't know. I'm not even ready for this one, man. There's one. There's one scenario. Obviously, we're talking John Ryder here. Okay? And one thing really pretty much sums it up for Sean Bean's version of this, and that's him riding up, listening to some 9 Inch Nails, freaking destroying everybody, whilst that is jammed up in his vehicle. I don't know if it actually was, but that's the way I saw the scene whenever he rolls up and Closer is playing. I'm just like, he's probably just turned this up to 11 in his car stereo, and he's ready to tear some shit up. And that's what it seemed like. That was badass. That was a great moment there in the movie. The song choice was a little interesting, but it worked kind of weirdly at the same time for me. Yeah, he just wreaks havoc on everybody, and that was awesome. I think there was a helicopter there too, was there not? Or was that just in the original?
They both had helicopters.
Okay, yeah, that was awesome. Sean Bean, though, I liked his character actually quite a bit in this remake, because like he started off, and I wish they would have done this a little bit more at the beginning. He started off kind of normal. Like he started off building a little bit of trust. Like he's got the wedding ring on, and it switched a little bit too fast, faster than what I would have done. But I like that dynamic about him, just kind of at the beginning where he kind of slowly turns into a creep. Whereas the first one, as soon as John Ryder gets in the OG, his name was what's his name?
I got
it
right here. Rutger Hauer. Yeah, Hauer.
Okay. Rutger is his first name?
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
Rutger.
So Mr. Rutger, he gets in the car, and he's like immediately kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like he's like, "Where you heading?" He's like, "Yeah." Yeah, and he's just kind of standing there out the window. I'm like, okay, I think I would want to drop this guy off before he even gets weird. But Sean Bean, like, anyway, it just goes back to, I like the way his character is a little bit more complex, I think, at least at the beginning. He's actually trying to fool people. Even says that he's like, I wear the wedding ring so people will trust me, and I like that about him. And he seems kind of normal. He's got his buzz cut going on. Like he seems like a normal guy, like a guy that you might even pick up. When he meets him at the gas station with creepy mannequin boy, he goes in there and he says, "Oh man, you left me. I wouldn't have picked me up either." Like, all that stuff. I like that. So I like that. His character at the end of the movie, I thought was good too. He had some nice dynamics with Sophia Bush as well, and whatnot. I liked all that. But Rutger was pretty solid too. I mean, he was creepy, man. I think I'm going to have to go with Mr. Bean though. And this is the last second change, but I love Sean Bean in this thing, man. He's a little bit more. There's a little bit more to his character, I think, than in the first one.
Dude, awesome. I'm shocked because I thought, Brad, you would have enjoyed Rutger's performance as John Ryder more than Sean Bean.
I loved Rutger's performance as John Ryder, but he just kind of seemed like, I don't know, like Sean Bean just seemed a little bit more like a psychopath. Like he's just like, he's actually out here doing this, and he's got an MO, dude. He's out here with his ring on. He's building trust, and then he's slaying it. Yeah. And it might just be Sean Bean that I don't know, but
I would think so because he played 006.
Well, of course he did, but he's also a legend of the game. Like he plays all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, legend of dying in every movie he's in.
Wow. And this is no different. Rutger, I liked him, but like when he was talking and stuff, I don't know. Yeah. This might be another switch. We're gonna have to think about it for a minute. Do
you not like his slow talking? Because he was a slow talker.
Yeah,
like
I like
slow,
that.
soft talker. Because I'm sorry to go on a wrestling rant here because Chris Jericho actually really had a good point. When you just talk slow and quiet, people pay attention because you're forcing them to. And that's kind of like remind me of what Rutger kind of took that approach in the original, which I really damn enjoyed. And for the original, damn dude, Rutger did such a great job. And he wasn't originally supposed to play John Ryder. I think he was like a last minute placement. Let me know in the comment section, guys, if I'm wrong on that. But like he did such a great job just being creepy right off the get-go. Like, there's something up with this dude. But with Sean Bean's version of John Ryder at the beginning, I didn't get that as much. It took a bit for him to get going, which I agree with Brad. That's just kind of like him trying to build trust and then go attack. But Sean Bean to me was just more psychotic throughout the whole movie, while the original with Rutger, he brings more of a psychology approach to it. Like he's always one step ahead of Jim every single beat. And I just enjoyed that cat and mouse game more than in the remake. So I'm going to most definitely go with the original.
There it is.
I may have jumped. This is tough. This is one of the ones that going in that like I just could not. Because I really did like them both. Like Rutger's. I'm trying to think. I'm going to think on it here for a second. Because I'm still kind of going back and forth in my head because there's some things that I really liked about Rutger's that Sean Beans didn't get a chance to like. I'm trying to think which one I'd be more scared of out in the wilderness. And while I think about that, Matt, you go ahead.
Rutger Hauer, he was great, But when I see him, I think of him in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so that kind of ruins it for me. That movie from the early '90s, so I kind of ruins a little bit for me. But Sean Bean, man, he's sitting there acting like he's talking to his wife on the phone, making up, "Oh, I'm okay, everything's okay." He's freaking playing it off so well, and then he, like Brad said when he goes in, he's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't have picked me up either." And then they go ahead and give him a ride, and then he's like, how long you been fucking her? And he's like, "What?"
Yeah, out of nowhere.
How long you been fucking her? And he's like, "How long you been fucking your wife?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm not married." I was like, "Oh shit." I just he played it off so cool, like the entire movie. He was being a psychopath, but everything he did was just so smooth and so cool looking. Rutger was kind of just like, I don't know. I kind of made me think of like a Mad Max type of movie type of deal. That's the kind of movie I think he would be in, like that kind of thing. He was good. He was creepy, but I just, like I said, Sean Bean just did everything so smooth when he was in the precinct and he drew the blood smiley face on that freaking interrogation window. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that was a strong scene.
I love that. I love the end when just his facial expressions and shit. Whenever he looks over and sees Estridge sitting in that car, and he's like, "Are you serious? He's just gonna give me this gift on a platter." And then the continuing at the end, whenever Sophia Bush busts out of that thing and he looks back and is like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He's like, "I just wrecked this thing, set this shit on fire, and you're still coming at me." And then he walks away just so cool and calm, walking away from her with the loaded shotgun. And then that ending line he says before he gets shot in the face feels good, doesn't it? I loved it. I loved it.
And I don't feel nothing.
I feel nothing. He just like, what?
Yeah, I would actually say that was a pretty good line.
He said, what?
That was a well-earned line.
Everything he said, Sean Bean just had me locked right in. Whenever asking him where he's from, and he's just like, all over. All his simple answers, just his everything about Sean Bean worked so well. And I would have been, once he flipped, he was 100% badass. It didn't take him long to flip either. And like you said, Rutger Hauer, he kind of just got right in and went straight to the point. Like, I really didn't notice any dilly-dallying, like, "Hey, I'm a nice guy." No, he's just straight up saying, I want to die. Like, right off the fucking bat. So, I got to go with Sean Bean and give it to the OG. Or, remake, my bad.
No, you're good. Brad, before you give us your final answer, let's talk about real quick, because Matt, I'm glad you brought that up. Which one did the best of "I Want to Die" for the particular scene? The original or the remake?
Remake for me.
I don't know. I don't think either one of them really stands out particularly over the other one in that particular sequence. I don't know. Probably the original, maybe.
Yeah, so I'm going with original just because of Jim of C. Thomas Howell. He just really sold that damn thing of like legit being scared a lot better than freaking Jim did in the remake. So I'm definitely going with the original on that particular scene.
There's some things about Rutger that I like more than Sean Bean, and that was like the whole, like you said, Brett, the psychological stuff. Like when he shows up at the diner and he's got all the bullets in his hand, and he's like, "Oh yeah," when he's pointing the gun at him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's not loaded, but here you go." Like I like all that.
That's a good scene.
And there's another one where he shows up at some dusty garage that Michael Myers just left after getting a new suit, and that one was a little bit more random, but he's just so like, I know it was part of his character. He's just so monotone, like he's so just one level, even keeled kind of guy in that movie, which is fine. It plays off well to the psychopath portion, but I do like the complexities of Sean Bean's character a little bit more so. And man, I just like there's a scene with Sean Bean that, you said it, the little heart thing, and he had a little bit more going on. I'm still going to go with Sean Bean. I think I'm going to go with Sean Bean.
I'm I'm just surprised by that, but
Oh, the one I wanted to throw out was the one where they're at the freaking where he's sniping fools, dude, and he's over there. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like
from the
he's
bus.
hiding. Yeah, he's hiding in the bus over there, and I'm like, oh, that's a little extra, dude. That's like he's really, these guys are really in trouble now. So yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll give Sean Bean one thing. If I was going to recast like for a remake of John Ryder, I will actually go to Sean Bean.
Yeah.
So all right, this is going to be where things get because right now we are 7-5 for the original going into the last category.
This is tough.
Overall enjoyment.
Yeah, so that's why we save overall enjoyment to be that final tiebreaker, just because it can go either way. So Brad, overall enjoyment, which one, the original or the remake?
I don't like going first in all these, especially at this point.
I'll go first because mine's the obvious answer.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh no, it really is. So I'll go first while you think. Because I'm going to give it the full sweep. I'm giving it to the original. Just because I love the tone and atmosphere so much better in the original. It was just shot so damn nicely. The score just makes you really feel uncomfortable and sets everything up. I just enjoyed. I like how they just get into the story immediately, and then you have the entire hour and a half to build up on that story that they set up right off of the get-go. Yeah, it's just to give more into it, so where you could just sink your teeth into. While in the remake, it takes a minute to get going. About, like I said, towards the end of the first act, early second half, where things just get really going. Well, I have a good time with the remake. It's just, I guess, the CGI rabbit at the beginning of the remake really got to me.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, that CGI rabbit was awful. But I do have a great time with Sean Bean and Sophia Bush. But to me, I felt like just a Michael Bay style to it. To me, didn't work. They need to go into a different direction. But I appreciate them going in a different direction. So I do have a good time with the remake. But the OG, man, I just love the slow building, and just it had an ultimate payoff. I love just using the psychology, having the villain be a smart villain, and just being one step ahead of the protagonist until the very end. So I'm giving it to the original.
Interesting. Do you want me to go, Matt?
You can go, Brad.
Okay. So the original does a great job of being suspenseful, and I think it does that better. I think it does a better job of building suspense and building a thriller out of this movie. And overall, I think it's a better story. And like we mentioned earlier, I think the main character of Jim is fantastic in the original. It's got a great atmosphere and everything. But I don't know why, and I didn't see this coming, but I actually enjoy watching the remake more. I think the original is it's a better made movie, and it's objectively speaking, but to me, the remake just goes by faster. I get a little bit bored with the original at times. I think it's got some pacing issues in it. Whereas the remake, I think, just kind of flies by from start to finish. And to me, it never gets boring. The action starts. Once the action starts, it doesn't stop until the end. And Sean Bean was freaking awesome. He's out here freaking tearing people up on the streets. Sophia Bush was great. She was a fun character. And Jim wasn't the best, but I liked having the two people as opposed to one that he's stalking from the beginning, because I just think I think this for the sense of the story, it's better to have one person, but I just feel like the original one is a little bit more dated, and it's just not as fun to watch through. And again, objectively, I would say the original is a better film all day. But just for me, whatever reason, I did not see this coming. For whatever reason, I just have more fun. I think it's the remake's more rewatchable. I like the soundtrack in it, and I just have a good time with it, man. It's the more modern feel works for me in this particular story.
Oh, where am I going to go? It's just so hard. We've done this will be the third one. I've went overall enjoyment to the remake both times. And I'm going to make it a third time.
We're going to get canceled.
I just, like you said, I just have such a good time watching the remake. Watching the OG, it was like a chore. Like, I really didn't want to finish it. I know a lot of people love it, and it's classic and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I thought it was boring, but I think it's probably because I've seen the remakes for a lot of these before I've seen the original. So when I go back, I'm like, it's just an outdated version of the remake, which, you know what I mean? It's obviously was there first. So, but I like Sean Bean way better. Sophia Bush, I could say it a million times. She kind of sells it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just like John Ryder better in the remake than I did in the original. And Brett said the mood and atmosphere, but I thought they were pretty much the same. It was like literally the same thing to me. It was just that desert heat, and they both gave that off very well. We got the gel cells in both, pretty much same thing. So that kind of was an equal. But like you said, when you watch the remake, it goes by so fast. I mean, it's only like an hour and like 15 hour and 20 minutes long, so it's pretty damn quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have a better time with it. Like, I just watched that little clip I played at the beginning of Sophia Bush. That just made me want to go watch it again. I love the third act and the ending compared to the original. So when she busts out of the back of that burning police thing, is just badass. And then she shoots him in the back. He's like, it feels good, doesn't it? Nah, I don't feel a thing, but bam! And I thought the ending of the OG was kind of dumb. He's just like, I don't know, sitting up against the car, like smoking a cigarette or something. I was like, this is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. So I got to go remake all day. And the soundtrack was better.
Yeah. But you got to remember, soundtrack is two different eras, too.
I know.
But I will say that the remake did nail the soundtrack, too, because it actually, it matched the movie. Mm-hmm. So do you want to know the results?
I think we need to know.
All right.
We're not going to get watched anymore, but that's okay.
It is, no, hold on. It is the remake 7. The original 8. So the original wins.
No, we go by categories, fool.
Oh, we do? I thought we go overall.
No, we go by categories.
Okay, well, let me do it again.
I know that one off the top of my head.
So sorry, Matt, about the editing. All right, so here we go. We got story goes to the OG. The officers go to the remake. The protagonists go to the OG. John Ryder goes to the remake. And so, yeah, we're going to get canceled, guys, because overall enjoyment is to the remake, so the remake wins.
Yes!
Fuck, we're getting canceled.
3 episodes in a row.
I'm shocked.
I actually thought this was going to be a cut and dry thing here where, like, I thought for sure this one was going to be the original whenever we picked it. And, I didn't think it was going to be any question, but I don't know, man. I dig it. I really think the first one is a great movie. I think it does a better job of dealing with, psychological aspects and things like that. Yeah. But for me, it's just, we were sitting here, we were watching it the other day, and we're like, okay, we saw the budget beforehand. Or I think I looked it up. I think it was like, what was the budget of this movie, Brett? Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not know the top of my head. I would say about a couple million, like for the remake,
the original one, and it was a higher budget than. Yeah, it was.
I think low millions on the original, but
no, it was $5.8 million, which in the freaking 1986, I was like, okay, that's a good budget. And we're watching it, and we're like, where is this budget? Yeah, it's like it's not there. And then we saw like a helicopter explosion. We're like, okay, maybe that's where most of that went. But still, like it doesn't feel like a $5.8 million movie. No. And just a comparison, like the 2007 film's a $10 million budget. It goes much farther at that point, despite being after inflation probably less money. Yeah. It just feels more fun to me, and just like you said, it just flies by. And I enjoy that about it.
Yeah, and do you know what I liked about the remake too? At the very beginning, it gave you the the U.S. Highway Department facts about like
Oh, yeah.
hitchhikers and all that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really nice touch.
Yeah, it was cool. I
Yeah,
don't get.
We're breaking the rules.
Yeah, or you are breaking the rules because I had a clean sweep. I
break the
did
rules.
original for everything.
I break the rules every episode of this show so far.
Yeah, you guys broke the rules last week. I don't
Well,
get
we
why
did-
this thing on the tomato score, it's got a 19, the remake does, and a 52 audience score. I'm like, it's I don't see what's wrong. I don't have a lot of problems with it at the end of the day. I mean, I think yeah.
Yeah, like I gave the remake a 3 out of 5, and I gave the OG a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, and objectively, that's probably about accurate. But
I
for me, I just get more enjoyment out of the remake.
Yeah, I'd probably give remake probably like 3.5.
That's what I give it.
Like what, 2.5. I know that's sacrilegious, but
Oh, dude, Destiny's going to be so pissed off at you because that's in our top 10.
I don't know how or why.
I mean, to be fair, I would give both of these probably the
it's
same.
slow. Is that what it is, Matt? It's slow because again, you love up tempo movies.
I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it that much at all.
You got affected by the bush. That's all it is. You got affected by the bush.
I think I heard too much about the OG. How it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. Then I was just expecting it to be this freaking awesome masterpiece.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what?
Yeah,
that's why I tried to be more careful not to overhype a movie ever again.
Halloween Kills.
Oh,
but that's not overhyped. That is fire. I guarantee. You didn't even see it yet. I guarantee it.
Well, James said to me when I met him that it's going to be fine. Like you said, man, it's going to be a great time.
It is
awesome. I think to be fair, I would give both of these a 3.5. I mean, I'd give them the same score. I just lean more towards the remake because I think it's more fun. And it might be because I don't know, when I first watched these movies, it was a long time ago. It was about the time the remake came out. I think I probably saw the remake first, and maybe that's why I'm skewed a little bit in that direction. I don't know, because I remember it would come on TV a lot and I would watch it, FX or whatever channel it came on. And then I'm like, oh yeah, the Hitcher's on. Let's watch this bad boy. And then sometimes I would see the Hitcher on and I'd click it and it'd be the original. I'm like, what the hell is this, dude? I want to see freaking Mr. 006 out here slaying the streets to some freaking 9 Inch Nails. But maybe that's why. I don't know. But overall, I just like it. I have a good time with it.
Another groundbreaking episode of Replay or Reboot. And now, like we do every week, now we got to come up with some choices for next month's episode. And I can't remember what was on the poll. I know Prom Night, I think, was one of the choices.
Yeah, Prom Night was a choice.
Amityville Horror?
Amityville Horror was a choice. And I think we're ready since it's starting to get hot, especially on this show. I think we need to add some more Texas heat and throw in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh, that's a big one.
That one's gonna win the pool.
That's
but we'll still throw it in the pool anyway.
Throw it in. So we'll go Prom Night, Amityville Horror, and now Texas Chainsaw Massacre into this pool.
That's another tough one, man.
We gotta get a win for the OG because
that's one of them. Why are you throwing Texas Chainsaw in? Then we need to put in freaking Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Oh, we're not ready. Well, we're not ready for that yet.
No,
that one's an easy one.
That's
an easy one. We're trying to get down to the nitty gritty ones first. Even though this might be our last episode after the remake winning once again.
No, we're gonna keep putting them out. You
damn ain't right, we are.
We're definitely gonna make some people mad with this one.
Do you think more mad than Child's Play?
Yes.
Hills Have Eyes.
Because I'm still getting shit on liking the remake more.
Good. It's I don't know. I like the remake a lot. I like the remake a lot of all these so far, obviously. So we're gonna keep that train rolling. Especially, we'll see. We'll see which wins the poll. Amityville Horror. Amityville Horror could go either way for me.
I haven't seen the original, so I'm excited for that episode.
I think that one's probably going to be a remake one for me. But
I like it.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's not really ones I go back to, but they're both pretty creepy in their own right. So That's going to be fun. What do you guys got coming up on your channel in the next couple of weeks or whatnot? Besides, obviously, you got your Friday the 13th review series going to be starting soon.
Oh, yeah, May the 28th, depending on the time of this video's release. May 28th starts the Friday the 13th review series, and Good Will Hunting is not alone in this. It's already been, some are already promoting it to be one of the biggest Friday the 13th review series in YouTube history. Whoa. Where it's going to be Good Will Hunting, Chase Moser from Moser Movie Reviews, Nick Cooling, Filthy Dan, Robbie Sobel, and we're also going to be joined by the House of the Living Dead as they do their Thank God It's Friday the 13th watch-alongs, which I will be the very first special guest camp counselor on May the 28th as I join the House of the Living Dead with Chris and Chad to watch the original Friday the 13th.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Brad, what else do we got coming up, my friend?
That's pretty much the gist of it, man. Honestly, like that's going to be our main priority between now and August is Friday the 13th and getting everything. We've got some great stuff put together for you guys and gals that you're going to like for those reviews. And also, I mean, obviously, we're going to be doing some new release stuff to Quiet Place, to Conjuring 4 or 3.
It's Me, Billy, too, because I've already been hearing good things about it.
Yeah, It's Me, Billy. We're going to be knocking that stuff out as we can. And yeah, it's going to be awesome, man.
Oh, and May the 31st for the Lunch Club, we'll be doing the Good Real recap for all the movies we watched for the month of May. And we're also going to be announcing an announcement due to changes to our channel that you'll definitely want to tune in because it'll make our summer plans a lot hotter.
A lot hotter.
He just ripped his damn mic out there, dude. With that one, he got bumped.
I feel with rage.
I ripped my microphone off. So, gosh, I'm sorry. But yeah, so you want
to the rage, Michael.
Particular Lunch Club episode on May the 31st.
So everybody tune in. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. And myself, obviously, I went through another rebranding because why the hell not? Changed my logo again and took out the Fudge Monster part because I heard a lot of people couldn't find my channel because when you search that, it doesn't pull me up, which it doesn't. So I got rid of it. And I'm trying, from now on, I'm going to try to start taking the channel in a different direction. Still doing horror content and whatnot, but I'm going to go do it a little bit differently. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Friday the 13th, since all you guys are doing that stuff, I am going to put out a video every week as well. Friday the 13th related. Probably going to be based on the kills since I've already reviewed the movies. So maybe I might rank the kills from each movie, and we'll see how it goes. I didn't do it yet. I need to hurry up and get on it because obviously it comes out this Friday for the first one, so I kind of need to get on that. There'll be no Fudge Monster Live this week because Tuesday the 25th is the Stream Demons episode that I'm actually going to be there for that one, which is amazing because I'm usually never there.
Yeah.
But I'll be there for that one. And then hopefully the 29th, which is next Saturday, I am bringing on Robbie Sobel and Chris Snyder, and we're going to start the Purge watch-alongs leading up to the release of the Forever Purge, which I'm looking forward to. So,
very nice.
That should be fun. And then June 1st, which is another Tuesday, Filthy with Faccis, we're bringing two of the actresses from Valentine Bluffs on, and we're going to talk to them. So I'm looking forward to that since they just passed their first stretch goal, $25,000. So now it's a feature-length film, an hour-long My Bloody Valentine fan film. So
awesome.
Obviously, I'm jacked about that.
And we gotta get to 30, and we gotta get to 30K so Matt can have a comedy scene in there.
Yeah, I keep trying, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But we can hope.
Yeah, we can hope, man. And I want to quickly say too, we're both so proud of you for having that amazing opportunity with the My Bloody Valentine fan film. Because we know how passionate you are with those two movies. So happy for you. And your logo change looks excellent. So I'm excited to see the direction of your channel. And I got my Blu-ray for that fan film. So I'm ready to send it to you so you can sign it and send it right back to me.
Hell yes.
I'm definitely down to do that.
Oh,
wanted that,
you think I'm joking? I'm actually going to send that to you.
and I'll sign it. My signature is like a doctor, so you won't be able to read it.
I can relate.
Yeah. I did the last perk on there was that $8,000 miner suit. Oh, I wanted that so bad, but $8,000 is crazy. So
I told you to give up. I told you to take some money out of your kids' some college fund, and then it'll be
a lot
okay.
of money. I can make one cheaper than that.
That is very true.
Which
But
I'm working
you can
on.
at least get the mask.
I already ordered a mask. That'll be here in a couple weeks, and I got the helmet that I made. I don't know why I do this stuff because nobody gives a shit, but I do.
I give a shit.
I do.
I think it's awesome.
And I can't make a Myers mask like Cool James Grimm, so I'll stick to something easier and do that. That takes mad skill. And me and James, we will be having an announcement eventually once we figure out our shit that we're doing together. But we're working on stuff behind the scenes with him, so I'm excited to do that with him. And yeah, that was another great episode of Replay or Reboot with a not so happy ending for most people, but I'll take it. I'll take it. So I'll get the poll posted for the next one here. Probably, I don't know if I'll do it today, but probably tomorrow. I'll get that posted up on there. So see people can vote for. And then next episode will be on Good Real Hunting's channel. And I'll be there again. With my boy Brad. And my boy Brad. It's good shit. So that wraps up this episode, I believe. So I think let's go remakes because they're kicking ass. Have a scary
3-0 remake.
And don't pick up Hitchers.